Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. If you've ever seen Interstellar, you've heard what I just said. And the actual meaning of it is for those that are sick or dying to not give into it very easily. Do not lay in that deathbed and say, it's over for me. Do not go gentle into that good night. But the more that I think about it, it brings a different meaning to me in addition to that one. And it's similar to what Earl Nightingale was saying in The Strangest Secret. Do not conform. When we grow older, as we look at people that have tried and failed, they decide to conform into what society, the world, the people around them want them to do, want to see them as. And this ultimately is that good night. You settle down into something that you really don't want to get into. And so that's what we're talking about today. Do not conform. Keep pressing forward. Keep persevering. Things are very, very hard in life. But that does not mean that they are not doable. That does not mean that you are not capable of overcoming them. It just takes a little bit of perseverance at every single moment where you feel like you don't want to do anymore, where you feel like you want to stop. Society tells us to do many different things, and especially 10 years ago, it was go to your corporate job, work like a slave, get in retirement, and then waste away. That is that good night. But I choose a different reality, and I implore you to choose a different reality as well. Choose the reality where you don't go gentle into that. You press forward against it, so much so that it stays away from you. That good night has developed a fear towards you, and you have developed a resistance towards it. It is our responsibility to figure out what we want to do, the path that we want to take, and ultimately it's up to us whether we follow that or diverge from it. Do you want to be like that guy that said, yeah, I used to be at the top of my game. I used to do this and that. I did all of these great things, but you aren't doing it anymore. You aren't that person anymore. You tried, you failed, and you didn't try again. That is what I choose to stay away from. I will not conform. I would not take the easy route, even though it may be the best thing for me in the eyes of others. But how do you develop this resistance? And my number one skill from it is the mind. The universal mind, as well as the personal mind, the individual mind. What is going on up here? In that process of conforming, you think about, can I keep going? Or should I stop? Is this making any sense for me? Will this ever work out? You're going through that dilemma in your mind. And if you don't have these necessary parameters and defenses up, you will be prone to conformity. And that to me is mediocrity. Knowing that you are better and meant for more, knowing that you can do more and you don't. Mediocrity isn't simply operating at a low level or not operating at all. Mediocrity is not living in your truth. Conforming is living in the proposed truth that the world gives you. But that's not coming from you. You need to build up your mind. Right now, you may be an emotional person. Things may get to you. You may hear someone say, you need to go do this, that, and the third. And since you don't have your own initiative, you don't follow your own intuition, you go that way. You are conforming. But you need to build your mind up. You need to put on a helmet that is so impenetrable that no matter what force tries to affect your mentality or your operation, you ultimately have the choice and not that thing. When you begin to build up your mind, you will see just how strong you are, and that it isn't just going to stop there. You are limitless at what your mind can achieve, what your mind can conjure. And you must steer it. The world should not steer your mind. If it does, you will be just like everyone else. But remember, you're an individual for a reason. You are not supposed to be like everybody else. You're not supposed to do what everybody else does. You have a specific proprietary value that you are supposed to give to this world. And if you conform, the world will not have that value. What if the world knew that you could do these things? What if the world knew that you had this idea that you chose not to pursue because it was too hard, or because someone told you that it wasn't good enough, or someone told you it wasn't going to work? Will you be that person that gets to 80 years old, gets to 60 years old and says, hey man, I'm down and out? For me, I have a great example in my life. I have my father. My father is above the age of 80, and he sets an example for me every day about how to move forward through life with purpose, on a mission, and never lose that spark. The spark that every young person seems to have with all of these great ideas, all of these grand ambitions. Don't lose that spark. It's almost like Zuko was when he was trying to carry the fire up the mountain. He couldn't lose that fire. If he lost that fire, which he ultimately did, he became in trouble. So right now, you may think that you are able to do these things. You may have this plan for your life, and I want you to pursue that plan for your life, no matter how hard it is, no matter what obstacles you get in front of you, because remember this, no obstacle is bigger than the power that you have inside of you. The universal mind has given you such an incredible, robust amount of ability that only if you knew, you feel so much better about these thoughts that you're having, these ambitions that you have. You would pursue them at the fullest extent. You would spend all of your time doing that because you know for a fact that you are being you. Keep loving yourself. Keep being you. You are the greatest you. And do not conform. Do not go into that good night. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.